we have the privilege of having the Cricket Association. So recently, the St. Kitts Cricket Association received a donation of 3 advanced bowling machines from Cricket West Indies, the CWI, as part of the legacy from hosting group stage matches of this year's ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup. Today, we are joined by 3 members of the St. Kitts Cricket Association. President, Mr. Dennis Phillip, who is also the Vice President of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. Carleen Delaney, Vice President of the St. Kitts Cricket Association, and Mr. Anthony Rollins, Treasurer of the St. Kitts Masters Cricket. Welcome, lady and gentlemen, to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we are all well today, I hope. Oh, all right.
Well, you should be reading cricket, so hey, yeah, we are.
Absolutely. So you folks just received 3 new bowling machines. Anyone can answer. So can you tell me, how will the bowling machines help with the advancement and training of cricket?
Good morning again. First of all, thank you for being here.
Welcome.
These bowling machines are something that we have always longed for, and we haven't received or had any bowling machines since 2007. So the ones that we would have had before, which were staged at the Cricket Academy, those would have been somewhat obsolete at this point. The SKC went on to buy just 1 bowling machine in around 2018. That's for a junior. So in receiving 3 of these bowling machines, it certainly is with great gratitude, we accepted them, and they will be utilized will be used at the St. Kitts Cricket Academy, which is basically on the verge of rebirth, so to speak. And the other one would be at our more or less headquarters, which is at the Connery Cricket Center, and will be shared with other venues around the island. But ideally, bowling machines are used to assist particularly batsmen, of course, because you can go, 2 persons can practice, one that puts the ball in the bowling machine and the other one who bats. So it basically encourages 2 persons to show up at any point with access to the bowling machines and utilize them for batting purposes. So we really are happy for them. We certainly would like to see some more, because as I indicated, 1 will be shared with some other 3 or some other 5 venues. So that's it, basically.
Well, this is definitely the place to make that known. So. Good use of time.
Certainly.
Good use of time. All right, so you mentioned the St. Kitts Cricket Academy. For someone like me who shamefully, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Grandma, doesn't really follow cricket that much, in terms of, the structure of that academy and who you cater to, what can you tell us about the organization itself?
The Cricket Academy has been around for many years. It's called the Len Harris Cricket Academy. It's basically been funded initially through the Carib Breweries. And over the years, obviously, because it's on government property, the Ministry of Sports has more or less helped to manage it. It did have a lapse, so to speak, in terms of the output from it. And St. Kitts Cricket Association, who has been plugging for rebirth. And so the rebirth has come where we now have a new board of directors and new initiatives in terms of programs, etc. Currently, we have only 19 females practicing there on Mondays and Wednesdays. Vice President will give you a further update on the females, but it will be utilized for a lot of the youths and basically players that have been identified by the St. Kitts Cricket Association that need particular assistance and skill training. So that's the plan at this point.
Okay, so Carleen, can you give us an update on the female team, as Mr. Phillip would have mentioned?
He did mention the under 19. Currently we have about 10, it's a small group because, 10 under 19 females in training. We have a couple of seniors. So you could say we have about 16 females in training.
Okay.
Yes, when Monday and Wednesdays they're at the Cricket Academy, and on Saturdays we are at Connery Cricket Center doing training as well.
Okay.
The under 19 is currently in training. A tournament should be happening sometime in July, early July, under 19 regional tournament. And Leewards, the Leeward Islands, as Mr. Phillips said, he's the vice president of Leeward Islands Cricket Board. The Leeward Islands is trying to make their first under 19 female team. The Leewards doesn't have that. All the other territories in the region has that.
Okay.
2016, I go back a bit, we had our first Leeward Islands senior female team as well, where the Leeward Islands was able to participate in a regional women's tournament in 2016, first time ever. So we are always at the back end.
Hopefully
We're
soon
trying to
become
go.
before.
Yes, right. So that's what's happening right now. But you know, due to COVID, this should have happened since 2019, the tournament. But due to COVID, things was pushed back. So now they're trying to get this tournament up and running.
All right, so Mr. Rollins, with all the momentum that we've been hearing about in cricket, is there anything else you want to see? Is there something that you're really happy about?
Yes, I'm happy that the St. Kitts Cricket Masters, which is a group of cricketers 40 and over, and our purpose is to keep the cricket alive.
Okay.
So that tournament started way back in 1996, but St. Kitts only joined in 2002 because it started with 3 gentlemen, one from Anguilla, one from Nevis, and one from St. Martin. So every year that we go to a different country and we have the Masters tournament. So we try to keep cricket alive, so the older folks them that had made St. Kitts before, that they'll be able to continue playing cricket so the younger ones can see exactly the Stuart Williams and the Luther Kelly and the Vic Teddy, you know, and those persons who was great in the time, you know, so they could still continue playing cricket.
I like that. My cousin, he's about 13 years old, and he is a lover of sports, and he says that he wants to play for the West Indies. So I'm watching him. He's in that age range, so maybe you'll come across him soon enough.
Yeah.
So can we get a summary of the recent Cricket Super 50 Overs tournament?
The current Super 50.
Aha, so it's current, not recent.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I stand
not
corrected. Yes, please.
We are in our 4th week of cricket. Basically, we have just restarted cricket after being off for probably 2 years because based on COVID and all the protocols you would have had to go through. So we started with 50 over, and that's being played amongst 4 teams. We're playing at 2 venues every weekend, every Sunday. Because it's 50 overs, it's done on a Sunday where even if you're working, you're likely to be off. And so that is, it's growing. Like it says, we've completed our 4th week this weekend, the past weekend, and the crowds are beginning to come back slowly. So we're hoping to see, you know, cricket really back on the rise, like every sport that has been knocked down.
I have to ask though, in terms of the resurrection of the sport, there must be something more that this brings to you all as members of the association, some sort of satisfaction. So what is it for each of you?
Well, the satisfaction and one of the goals primarily is that St. Kitts has never had a player on West Indies. We have been close. We have had we have not had the Godfather type or we have had the talent, and but there's some little issues which we can discuss here that basically keep some of our players from there. They get to the top, and there's that other level which they need to take them a little further. And a lot of it has to do basically not just the skill. Cricket right now is not just about skill, it's all about all the other aspects of the game, the thought process, etc., etc. And so we're actually working on our focus basically is to target the youth. Now, my good friend Mr. Rollins spoke about keeping cricket alive. I think they're keeping themselves alive. But we want to focus. We are focusing more on the youth. Some of while I'm on it, some of those problems that we have, though, obviously boils down to finance, getting all of the funding. But we have basically developed done a development plan, which, like I said, focuses on youth, and we're just seeking funding right now. And we have had we're looking at some fairly good avenues, prospective avenues that we will be able to do that. So there is hope, and just now we ought to be seeing, I think by May, late May, we will be seeing an under 15 league, which we had 2019, 2020 we had that tournament, and to see all the parents involved and the kids being there every Saturday, it really was exciting. And unfortunately, we lost that momentum based on COVID, and so we're hoping to restart. Yeah.
Oh, we'll be well. We will beat COVID. We definitely.
yes, definitely. Yeah.
So there was a recent CPL cricket press release concerning retaining some players on the national team. What can you tell us about that?
Well, retaining those players, it's public knowledge. But as far as the future and the further selection of other players, we, as St. Kitts Cricket Association, really do not have that inside or that participation in selecting.
Okay.
We have put out forms where persons here, top players, can apply basically to the Patriots, and see if the statistics allow them to be selected. From a personal standpoint or opinion, I honestly don't see any new or any additions this year, except possibly keeping the ones that who had the opportunities last year. As an example, you have Mikhail Louis, you have Jeremiah Louis, persons like that likely to be back in there and given another opportunity. So we're looking forward to that. Other than that, we're just hoping that sometime in the future, in time for the following CPL, we may have somebody or persons knocking on that door.
All right, I'm glad that you mentioned Jeremiah Louis. I remember him when he was in school, and to see that he wasn't that young either. He was about 16 or so, but to see that he's continuing in the sport, that's great, actually, that you can even mention his name here. All right, so in terms of the marketability of cricket in general, question comes to you as to whether you think longer series of cricket is more marketable as opposed to the shorter matches, the 23 matches. Any takers? Or would you just have them all? From the floodgates and say, we'll take what we get?
I would say the populace here on island is more for the shorter version of the game. For the longer version of the game, you have to take people who are passionate about cricket. To be really involved.
I can't dispute that, to be honest with you.
But I definitely understand from watching cricket, like even the IPL now, because my husband is an avid cricket fan, and I watch it with him sometimes, and it's way more fun. Yeah, it's exciting than the Test series.
But you have to be involved in cricket to enjoy.
It certainly is more fun, definitely. But one of the points that you have to understand is that in order for you to become a great cricketer, you have to go to the long format in most cases, and that is something that is still being discussed internationally, because many of the big countries are saying, or individuals are saying, hey, the long version, they don't want to be part of it. But in order for you to become a real solid good batsman or bowler, you ought to be playing the long version.
So there are no shortcuts, just respect.
It shouldn't be shortcuts.
Only respect. All right.